Okay, in lesson 7, we're going to be adding type to a poster. And you're going to learn about several different ways. Actually, there's 3 different ways to create type. And so let's just get started here. And in Illustrator, what I would like you to do is, especially if you've been working, go to Workspace and go to Reset Essentials. And go ahead and, with this lesson 7, go ahead and save it as your own file to use. And at this point, we're going to go, we're going to not view the smart guides. Smart guides are useful when you're typing if you want them to act like a magnet to set your type. But for the this next operation, we'll just leave them off for right now. So anyways, first thing we're going to talk about is point type. Now, if I come over here to the type tool and I hold it down, you'll see we have a number of different types that options to work with. I'm going to tear this off, and then you can also have it horizontal or vertical. And we're just going to go ahead and grab the type tool, and then what we're going to do, what I want you to do is go ahead and zoom in by the tail here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to type some text here, and we're just going to type in zoo tails. Now, one thing you'll want to also do here is make sure your layer palette is open and make sure you're on the text layer to get started. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just click in this area. And right now you will see the view for type. And basically this just shows us the hidden characters. I'm going to turn this off, so you probably won't see that. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just type in capital letters zoo tails. Okay. Now, when I go to my select arrow, you'll notice that the zoo tails is in this bounding box. But watch what happens when I move it out. What will happen is it will actually resize according to how I go ahead and grab that bounding box. I'm going to revert back here. And the other thing is too, is if I keep typing, it's just going to keep typing in a straight line. Okay, it's never going to, unless I hit a hard return, this is what we're going to get. So we're going to go ahead, go back and select the selection arrow. And then I'm going to show you the difference between point type and area type. Now, in this box right here, if I double click this, well actually if I double click it, and then I go in and I start typing again, you'll notice that I now am missing tails, and what it is I am actually being shown here that I have type that is outside the area. And you can see as I bring it out here, I have, you can see the type now, and this isn't an area type box. So whatever my type box size is, when I go ahead and type in it, you will see that it wraps into the rectangle of the area type box. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and erase that, and you can also revert this back to just a point type as well. So now we're going to zoom out a little bit, and we are going to go down to the little black sign here, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the left area here a little bit. And what we're going to type next is we're going to type in an area type boundary, and I'm just going to make it about 1 inch by 1 inch. But I'm going to turn my smart guides back on, so 1 second here. We'll go ahead and view our smart guides. And I'm going to show you the difference, because now when I'm dragging out this window, you'll see the measurements come up there in the lower right corner there. And without the smart guides on, we wouldn't have that option available. So we're just going to kind of type in approximately 1 inch. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then what I want you to type is Safari Zoo, California. And you can see how the text now is wrapping horizontally to the area type bound box. And again, just like okay, and then in this area down below here, I'm going to just zoom in so you can get a better look at it. What you'll see is this little widget down here, and it's an auto size widget. And if I double click on this, it will automatically bound itself just to the text. So I can go back into this area type box and hit return, and I can make sure I get back on my type tool here and hit return. And you notice how the box will automatically adjust to the text. And this is useful if you're typing in particular areas such as a poster or a brochure. And I see that I made a mistake up here. So anyways, we're going to go back and we're just going to have you type Safari Zoo. And then what I want you to do is take your selection tool. And now you notice, okay, so when we zoom it out here, and we're going to just put it right to the left edge of the sign here. So now I've just zoomed out a little bit, and what I'm going to show you next is how you can take Point Type Tool and create it to Area Type Tool. So we're going to start over here by the tail here, the striped tail, and we're going to type in Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. And you don't need to put any periods in there. And again, if I go to back to my selection tool, you can see how it is point type, so it's going to resize it as I drag the bounding text box. So I'm just going to go Command Z to undo, and I'm going to show you now. This is point type, but a way that I can double click right here and bring it back to area type. And then what I can do is I can drag, see how I can drag the bounding box down, and then when I drag this over to the left, now I can get the 6:30 p.m. to wrap horizontally under Thursdays. So in this next section, we're going to show you how to import a text file. So I'm just going to turn off the eye on my layer panel on the tails, so I got a clear area that I can view when I'm importing my text. And I'll go ahead set myself on the text tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Place, and I'm going to pull up the text file that I downloaded from D2L, and I'm just going to hit OK. Now you can see how you got this little symbol and you can see the text right there, and I'm just going to go right up to the top left corner here, and I'm going to drag down first and show you how I can just fit this into that area. Now I can go back to my selection tool, and what I want you to do is you're going to drag this up. We're going to drag it up just to about the third paragraph, and you'll notice that a little red plus sign shows up on the right side of my text bounding box. And what this tells us is that I'm fitting a certain amount of text in here, but I have some text that isn't showing up. And this box is very useful because what will happen then is I have this part of the text here, and I can come back here and actually click on that to bring that text, which they call overflow text, and bring it to another area of my project here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on my space bar, and I'm going to zoom up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this overflow text. And you'll notice that now you get that symbol with the text again coming up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it in to here, and you'll see how that text has come up. Now if I go ahead and I bring this up, you'll notice that the text now is directly linked, And if I make the bounding box bigger here, the text will get bigger here, and so on and so forth. So just kind of a very interesting way you can work with your text options here, and you can see how they get smaller over here as well. So anyways, we'll just go ahead, and we want to basically, I think that should be good, and we'll move on to the next object. We can go back and revise as necessary. The next thing we're going to show you is how you can do columns of text. And so with your selection tool, go ahead and choose the text that starts with line circle. And then you want to go up to type, and then you want to go to area type options, and this panel will come up. And in this panel, this gives you the ability to change columns and rows, etc. So we're going to go ahead and change the columns to 2. And you can click on preview to actually see what you have showing. And you can see you got the 2 columns here. Then I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to grab the bottom of the text box, and we're going to bring it up. So we got the dollar signs to the right of the different circle levels.